regular season goes in the CFL, this is the biggest game. Zach Collaros 6-0 on 3 different teams on the Labor Day weekend. Jake Dolegala not only got his first win against the BC Lions, that's a very good football team, and see, coming off the bye, if he can carry on with that momentum.
Yeah, 1-0 coming off the bye already this week. Flyby on the way in.
Let's go.
3 CT 155s out of Moose Jaw will help us kick things off here today. Craig Dickinson, like we mentioned, biggest win of the year by far for his side. Winnipeg, they're just rolling 5 in a row. Overall, they won the toss. They wanted the ball, and they're about to get a short kick. What a start! Lothar hops all over it. Trickle just outside the 40, and the Riders have it. What a way to start this Labor Day clash.
Well, if you want to get a sold-out Mosaic Stadium into it early, how about a little trick play in the special teams, setting the tone? Lowther just kicks it to himself and is patient to wait for it to get the 10 yards. The Bombers are looking to set up blocks. They're a little bit slow to react. First down, Saskatchewan.
How about that call in this game? The possibility of putting Winnipeg on the field at your own 41. They executed perfectly. Lothar, what a start. Dolegala onto the field, the ball on his own 41. Fireworks already here at Mosaic. Dolegala looking down the field in a hurry. Almost hauled in. Deep shot to Emelis. Rose got there just in time.
Well, he didn't give up because Emelis was in behind him. Emelis coming off his best game of the season, maybe as a pro, against the BC Lions 2 weeks ago. And after getting that onside kick and possession of the football, why not take a shot down the field? Emelis is in behind, but Winston Rose does not give up and distracts him. Didn't get the ball, just distracted him enough.
Just enough, but how about the Riders to start this game?
Slinging it.
Not messing around in front of a sold-out crowd. Dolegala to Jones. He is wrapped up on the tackle immediately by DeMario Houston, and that will bring up 3rd down for Saskatchewan, and they will be forced to kick it away here early. Well, Emelis had that big game against BC, but had 3 touchdowns in week 2 against these guys, right? So looking to go back to a threat. 3 Riders receivers among the top 10 in the Canadian Football League coming into this game. A couple of those top 10 on the other side of the field as well. Korsak set to kick it away. And he lets it go from the 36. End over end into the hands of Parker. And Parker is wrapped up after a very short return, and that'll get the crowd at Mosaic going, and Zach Collaros trots out onto the field.
8-2, missed one start with Drew Brown going in for him when he was injured in the Edmonton game, but 69-38 in his career, and just a tremendous record as a Winnipeg Blue Bomber.
Last week they still won comfortably despite a couple of pick sixes for Collaros. Still had 4 touchdown passes in that game. Not bad. Start on the Winnipeg 26 here. Brady Oliveira wrapped up and taken down immediately. Brady, of course, a huge part of this Winnipeg offense.
Well, I didn't highlight any of the old linemen for the Bombers because that group has played together for all 11 games of the season. They have continuity. They're all-stars. One of the reasons this is a 9-win team. And in the backfield, I believe if you can control Brady Oliveira, as we talked about in the pregame show, you're not guaranteed to win against this Bombers, but you give yourself a chance.
Just a couple of yards on that first touch for Oliveira. Collaros looking to throw here, and he's going to go down the field looking for Dembski, almost intercepted. Dembski trying to sneak in behind, but Deontay Williams came over to break it up.
Collaros he calls this the the Willie Mays ball. And whether it's a corner route or this post from Nick Dembski, he's going to throw it high because he knows how well that Dembski can adjust, but he's double covered there with Jaden Dalkey, the safety, playing the man, and Deontay Williams going for the football. Tough to get it in there to number 10.
Williams laid out there, got his fingertips on it, but couldn't hang on. Jamison Sheen kicks it away. Mario Alford at the 25. Alford trying to find a little bit of space. Back to the 35 and no further as the Bombers contain Mario Alford. Jake Dolagala of the Riders here in this head-to-head battle.
Well, they've had a lot of teams' numbers, and when you think about their dominance over the last few years, they're a 9-win team. They can clinch a playoff spot if they win in this one here tonight. And Michael O'Shea has built the right culture in that locker room.
I'd like to welcome all of our viewers on CBS Sports Network as well. Huge game here between two bitter rivals in Winnipeg and Saskatchewan.
I mentioned that first win for Jake Dolagala before the bye against the BC Lions. That's a very good defense, top team in the league. Who, by the way, got a win last night against the Montreal Alouettes. So, you know that Jake Dolagala in just third starts got some confidence going into this one. But this is a great Bomber defense.
2nd and 8. 4-man rush. Gets it away. Held onto by Stearns for his first catch of the ball game, but he'll be short of a Rider first down.
Craig Dickinson taking a good long look at that. He's going to go with the punt team. Against the BC Lions, the Riders in that win really set the tone on the special teams. So I think for Craig Dickinson looking at this and saying, well, first of all, it's just over a yard, so almost 2, and secondly, I like the way our special teams, cover teams 2 weeks ago set the tone.
Korczak a bit further back on this one than last time. Gets it away cleanly again. Taken at the 21, right back up the middle, outside the 30. Head coach of the Bombers, Coach O'Shea, on the atmosphere here in this battle.
The understanding is you're coming into a bit of a storm, right? I mean, the people travel from far and wide to get to this game in this province. It's, I think it's well received by everybody on our team too. Everybody likes playing in front of a packed house, and the rowdiness is greatly appreciated.
Really a spattering of blue here today.
Coach, it's a beautiful day. Come on. Storm? What do you mean?
Yeah, 34 degrees at kickoff, by the way. Brady Oliveira right up the middle. And that's a pretty decent pickup on first down against this Riders defense.
Well, Anthony Lanier has elevated himself into the discussion as one of the top defensive players in the league and the top 5 rush ends. Maybe doesn't have the numbers quite yet, but they'll come. They're going to start Derek Moncrief. We will see TJ Brunson at linebacker as well. They'll rotate. Moncrief gets the start. And this is the type of game, Dustin, that I think Nick Marshall was a bit of a gambler out there on the corner. You get the big crowd, the sellout here at Mosaic Stadium.
After the play, we have a 15-yard misconduct penalty. Saskatchewan. We're going to go up 15 yards. Can we first down for Winnipeg?
This is the type of game that those playmakers, DeMario Houston, Nick Marshall, they want to jump one and see if they can make a play. That's penalties. Changes field position here.
Also the type of game where you don't want to take these unnecessary penalties.
No, and you want to be physical, but retaliation will always get caught. And secondly, the Riders have been way better this year in the penalty department than the past couple of years.
2 least penalized teams in the league this year as far as yards go on the field here today. Flag on this one. Looked like the receiver that had crossed the line early. Short pickup on the first down anyway.
Offside, Winnipeg, number 83. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
Dalton Schoen looking to get a little bit of an extra jump. Not that he needs it. He's a big-time threat, over 1,200 yards as far as depth on targets from Collaros so far this year.
Oh, Schoen loves to get to the end zone, too. He's got a nose for the end zone.
7 touchdowns already this season. Another fantasy sweetheart of a year for Schoen, 83 in white there. 1st and 15. I'll back them up 5. Winnipeg works from their own 49. 3 options to the left for Collaros. Looks that way. Throws there, and it's intercepted.
Knew he'd do it.
Of course.
Knew he'd do it.
Nick Marshall hauls it in. Riders defense steps up big early.
The veteran in Nick Marshall is going to jump this. He doesn't backpedal. He jumps the route. It wasn't even his guy. He just played the play and cut underneath the interior slot back receiver, not his wide receiver, to make an interception.
Well,
Demario Houston, you're up.
That was Kenny Lawler that he left.
Exactly.
To slide in there and take that ball away from Rasheed Bailey. Great field position for the Riders. 1st and 10 on the Winnipeg 46. Near side, completion to Jones. Right at the 1st down marker. Take a look at this Riders offense.
Well, they were really rotating the left tackle position with the 3 guys. Now Eric Lofton is in start number 4. That's really solidified this group. Just 3 sacks allowed in the last 3 games. And you look in the receiving core, and Sam Emilus coming off a huge game. Some spectacular catches against the BC Lions 2 weeks ago.
Second catch of the game already for Tevin Jones, who had 9 when these 2 teams met in week 2. Dolegala near side again. Oh my goodness.
Houston.
That was Demario Houston.
I'm telling you, man, this is the type of game these guys want to do that. Okay, let's look at the Bombers on defense. Again, Willie Jefferson, sellout crowd. You know he'll be a factor at some point tonight. Same with Adam Big Hill in the middle. He's their leader. 51 defensive tackles leads the defense. And then Demario Houston, who almost did what Nick Marshall just did and jumped a route that wasn't even his. 7 interceptions this year. By far the league leader. Dolegala in the pocket. Down the field. Incomplete. Looking in the direction of Schaefer Baker, but 89 never really had a crack at it. Out there at the wide receiver spot, Schaefer Baker, little change motion with Emilus coming inside. He gets a little inside release, then goes back to the corner. He's working on Evan Home. Pretty good coverage, and not a bad decision by Jake Dolegala to put it out there and outside so that only his receiver has a crack at it. It's a little overthrown. Brett Lawther has hit 13 in a row. This one from 43 yards to put the Riders on the board. And he sneaks it through. Saskatchewan on top. 3-0.
I am Demario Houston, cornerback for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Jake Mayer on his own 40. And that is intercepted to the 30. It's Demario Houston again. What a season. And he takes this one all the way back a 45-yard. Sold out. Beautiful day. Over 30 degrees. You really couldn't paint this picture any better, could you, Glenn?
Well, and it was nice and loud in the hotel. Walk across to the mall, looks just like that shot you just saw with green jerseys everywhere, and then a whole bunch of like groups of blue jerseys in the corners. Oh yeah, it's Labor Day weekend.
Midway through the first quarter, Winnipeg trails by 3. Brady Oliveira, pretty good job to stay on his feet here. Really nice work from Brady Oliveira. How is that for a first down? They had him behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, he's a thumper. I mean, he'll bring the physicality running the ball. Quick feet out of the gate to keep the play alive, because he was cut off to try and get the edge, but he keeps his feet moving, and then it was just would not go down. I mean, 1 tackler, 2 tacklers. Here comes a 3rd, no sir. 4th, 5th, first down, Oliveira.
Wow. Creeps towards 1,000 yards on the ground this season. Back to him again. This time maybe a yard, not much more. As Brady Oliveira, we were talking about before the game, he hit 1,000 yards on his final carry last year. There's a really good chance he could hit that mark today as he comes in with 902, by far the leader in the league.
Well, I talked about it in the pregame. Brady Oliveira, in the 2 games that the Bombers lost, Ottawa and BC, he had 16 yards against Ottawa rushing. Big reason they came back and won. And the Lions, who beat them, he only had 52, well below his per game average of 82 in that game. So if you can control him, you got a chance.
Big 2nd and 9 here at midfield. Collaros in trouble, and he's going to be thrown to the turf by Micah Johnson. His 4th sack of the season.
Big Micah Johnson, he sort of discards the quarterback here. He just, it's not really a sack, it's kind of like a discarding of Zach Collaros. Just get out of here.
That's a powerful man right there.
It is.
3-time CFL All-Star with a big impact early. Alford spins and stays on his feet. 2nd crack at it, though. They wrap him up and take him down. Micah Johnson, get out of his way. Collaros, no chance.
Watched that catch when I was 12 years old. It stuck with me and I immediately wanted to be like him. He got to college and the number 19 was given to him and he said, I immediately thought of SJ Green, and from then on out I only wanted to wear number 19. So from, you know, loving SJ Green in the CFL to becoming a very impactful player of the green in the CFL, it's been quite a journey for MLS, guys.
Ron, it's been quite a season for MLS so far as well.
That BC game, targeted 7 times, caught 5 of them for 106, and that spectacular touchdown.
Yeah, another catch that was phenomenal as well. Dolagala heaves this one way down the field, and that will fall incomplete.
Second down conversion, that's the money catch right there. He's been big for whomever's playing quarterback at the time, and of course the 4 touchdowns, 3 against the Bombers in week 2.
7th overall pick, 1st rounder that's really panned out here.
He can go now, can fly.
So can Sean Bain, who they were looking for on that last one. 2nd and 10 from their own 16. Dolagala in the pocket again. Now he has to take off on his own, trying to lunge ahead, but that big frame not big enough to pick up the 1st down.
He will run. I mean, he's a drop back kind of pocket passer, but in that game against the Lions, he had 4 carries for 27 yards. So he will take off and escape the pocket. But at 3rd and 2, Craig Dickinson taking no chances in his own end.
Those are big strides, eh?
Yeah.
Big strides for Dolagala, 6'7". It's a big step.
Will help him, though, when Willie Jefferson is in front of him with his hands up.
That's a really good point, actually. Jefferson, 10 knockdowns on the season, holds a height advantage against every other quarterback in the league not named Dolagala, and I guess Cornelius, who's now 3rd role duties in Edmonton. Parker on the return after a 62-yard kick, short return. Zach Collaros has not lost. 3 different teams in these big games.
The Ticats have the Rider jersey on. Of course, with the Bombers, the numbers are just incredible on Labor Day. You mentioned the 6-0, but he's almost 1,800 yards. How about a TD interception ratio at 13-3? Not bad for number 8.
That'll get the job done most time. Crowd here trying to get in his head. He's 0 for 2 so far today. We're closing in on the final moments of the 1st quarter. Multiple flags here. Collaros trying to get away. Riders will not allow it, and they gang tackle him at the 25.
Not sure if there was early movement on the O-line, but it looked like Saskatchewan kind of leaned into that neutral zone, the far side of the line of scrimmage. We'll see what the officials saw.
Offside, Saskatchewan, number 91. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
Anthony Lanier has 5 sacks himself this season.
Yeah, watch Kolinkowski. Lanier's up at the top here, but Kolinkowski just is basically pointing to get the blocking schemes. The center will call out the blocking scheme for the O-line, and you're allowed to point and make those subtle movements, but it pulled Anthony Lanier when he moved his offhand.
Takes a sack off the board for DeMarcus Christmas. Back on the ground, Brady Oliveira, and he's got a first down and about an extra 12 along the way. And Brady Oliveira continues to be the bulk of the offense for Winnipeg.
Well, when you take a look at the gaps up front, there's a couple of them. There's A gap, there's B gap. That's strong A and strong B. They go weak A and weak B going back the other side. This is a strong A, big time run and blocking up front. No contact made on Oliveira until he gets into the secondary.
39 yards on the ground for Brady Oliveira. Nothing through the air yet for Winnipeg. 2.5 to play here in the opening quarter. Kolaris down the field. One-on-one on the far side. Incomplete. Looking for Kenny Lawler. Working against Jeremy Clark. Couldn't connect.
He's out there by himself at that out at that wide out spot. Not by himself, but he's out there one-on-one, and he knows it's one-on-one because Jeremy Clark's in press. So he's up on the line of scrimmage, didn't get his hands on him, in pretty good position, just missed. Both these quarterbacks taking some shots down the field in this first quarter.
Something's going to hit at some point, right? Quite a few deep shots already in this game. Kolaris 0 for 3 with an interception. If you're just joining us, it was Nick Marshall's 4th of the season. 2nd and 10 from the Riders 54. Kolaris with time over the middle, and that one in and out of the hands of Dalton Schoen. He usually hauls that in.
Yeah, do not see that very often. Just actually shocked that it hit him right where it needed to be. I mean, Micah Tights tried to get underneath that, but Zach Kolaris put that ball right on Dalton Schoen, and he hasn't done this all year.
Kolaris has gone to Bailey, Dembski, Lawler, and Schoen, but none of them have been able to haul one in.
Keep your eye on 83 in the next series. You want to make up for that one.
Alford takes it at the 7, near sideline. Pushed out of bounds. Jake Dolegala's second career start was against the BC Lions back on the 20th of August.
Got going early. This was like their opening series. They got Kean Schaefer-Baker back and found him in the end zone quickly. I thought Dolegala played very well. A couple deep balls, some real nice catches by Emelis in that game. Getting his first win against a very good BCD.
I don't know if it's just me, but he seems pretty calm in the pocket.
Absolutely.
Like, not a lot of panic to just take off as soon as he feels any pressure.
He's got a cannon, we know that.
Starts this drive on his own 14. 4 options out to his wide side left. Near side for Jones. 3rd catch of the game for Tevin Jones. And a little extra effort gets him a Saskatchewan first down.
Yeah, you go back to week 2, Tevin Jones and Sean Bain against the Bombers had big games. I mean, both over 100 yards. They didn't win the game, but they had big games, and know that the Bombers secondary will know those two players a lot better for this outing.
Yeah, Jones over 100 yards, Bain over 100 yards, Emelis 3 touchdowns in that game. So all 3 of those guys just monster games. That was a game in which Trevor Harris threw for over 400 yards. Ended up being a loss though. Dolegala from his own 26 tucks it into the belly of his running back, short of the line of scrimmage. As Jamal Morrow gets contained, he had just 20 yards on the ground back in week 2 against Winnipeg.
See how Willie Jefferson played that. I mean, he is so quick off the edge and can redirect so quickly that Jefferson can play both here. He can play just on the outside of the post. He can play the run, slide down, but he can redirect to Dolegala if he pulled it. That's why it's hard to play that kind of ride in the side game against number 5.
Took a loss on the play, 2nd and 11. Dolegala, pressure in his face, hammered down. Bombers defense Was he hit in the head as he was taken down by Ricky Walker?
Yeah, was there extra after the fact? It looked like the hit initially was clean. So nothing wrong with the tackle here.
Cameron Lawson in there as well. It was Walker and Lawson, 9 and 99. Ooh.
We have major foul, unnecessary roughness, Winnipeg number 9. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to be an automatic first down, and it's the end of the quarter. It's the end of the quarter.
Right there.
Well, head-to-head contact leading with the, they called 9. And it looked like it was 99.
That will do it. We've got an interesting game shaping up at Mosaic. The Riders lead the Bombers 3-0 after 1. Stands out there.
Yeah, for the Bombers, they got a little Brady Oliveira going, but no passing yards. They have not completed a pass in that first quarter. That's unheard of for Zach Collaros in this receiving corps. See how they make adjustments in the second. No run game for Saskatchewan. I would say a questionable call on the late hit or the unnecessary roughness on Dolagala, but they get a new set of downs. First down for Saskatchewan.
Be interesting to see here how much longer Zach Collaros is kind of held in check by this Riders defense. Oliveira, though, excellent. 5 carries, 39 yards. One of them went for 18. Winnipeg, when trailing after the first quarter this year, Bombers fans, you'll like this stat, they're 4-1. They're 4-1 when they trail after the first 15 minutes. Dolagala on the ground. Small push ahead for Jamal Morrow.
Yeah, I'm sure the Riders looked at that too and thought, you know what, we haven't got our run game going at all. I mean, and that's get a little bit of balance in the offense and give Jake Dolagala a second and more manageable situation. No, they say that all the time, but that really is the key to moving the chains on offense. Nice balance, good production on first down.
From their own 42, Dolagala, 4-man rush. Gets it away near side, incomplete. Stearns is ahead of Cranby, but they could drop it in there for him. Dolagala, 4 of 9 to start this ball game.
Those good front sevens in this game. I mean, you got Anthony Lanier for Saskatchewan. You've got Jeff Coate and Jefferson with Walker and Thomas. And that front 4 for the Bombers. Talking to Sam Emelis, he said, you know, yak yards may be important in the quick game as well.
Borzak, his own 33. Parker takes it at the 22. About 7 or 8 yards on the return. And nothing more. Brady Oliveira, focal point of the offense for Winnipeg here.
Yeah, best player on the field in the first quarter and on pace to finish second highest total for a Canadian tailback. You know, not just numbers aside, Brady Oliveira's best back in the Canadian Football League right now and can do it all. I mean, whether it's the hard running between the tackles, speed to the outside, picking up blitzes,
catching passes, almost 300 yards receiving, a couple of touchdowns for Oliveira as well. So he's over 1,200 total yards of offense. Now they're going to give it to McCray. And McCray contained on the far side of the field. They tried to stretch it out, but nowhere to go.
Well, the Rider defense knows it too. You know, they know about Brady Oliveira. They know about how successful the Bombers have been when the run game is going well for them. Now, having said that, you know, Jason Shivers, the defensive coordinator, would have scouted all of that. But often the Bombers are up on the score, so they get to the fourth quarter and they start pound and thumper in Brady Oliveira, and he gets a lot of yards in that fourth quarter.
That's where you see those 8, 9, and 10-minute long drives to seal away victories. They trail here, though, by 3. Collaros over the middle, shown, can't hold this in, and he's hammered at the end of the play by Derek Moncrief.
Tremendous timing on the break from Derek Moncrief. There's a flag down though, and it's in the Bomber backfield.
Legal block, hands to the face. Saskatchewan, number 91. It's a 10-yard penalty. It makes it a first down for Winnipeg.
Well, we'll take a look at the play by Moncrief, but it looks like Lanier is going to get a hands to the face penalty. That's just great timing to separate the ball from the receiver. Lanier at the top of the line here. Coming off the edge, got his hands underneath the right, that left hand under the chin of Stanley Bryant. It's a penalty either way, both offensively or defensively.
Back to Brady Oliveira. Cuts it ahead, stays on his feet, and he's got a Winnipeg first down. That'll give him 50 yards on the day.
Yards after contact, leader in the Canadian Football League. Brady Oliveira, number 1. It's a good example as to how he's got to that number 1 spot right there.
It was Lanier who eventually tripped him up, slowed him down, and stopped him for now. Winnipeg from their own 54. Oliveira again for about 3 or 4 more.
Also leads in yards per game, 82. Also leads in 100-yard games, 5 out of the 11. Also leads in 10-yard or more runs at 22. So you think Buck Pierce is going to feed the rock to Brady Oliveira? I think so.
Yeah, that's a statistical way to say he's really good. Really good for this Winnipeg offense. It's also got a number of weapons for Zach Collaros. Today, the only one activated so far is running back. Stands in to the right of his quarterback here, 2nd and 5. Now they'll get it to Dembski, and Dembski will be stopped short. Probably by a couple of yards here, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Maybe just out of the range. Sergio Castillo here. He'd be kicking from about the center line. If it's a field goal attempt.
Looks like the punt team is out here.
Yeah, I don't think you take a chance. You got some bigger guys covering a missed field goal attempt than you do on a punt cover team. Punt cover is DBs, linebackers, those kind of guys. You have to have some bigger guys on field goal team to protect first.
That would be a dangerous thing to do with Mario Alford lurking back there. Jamison Sheen.
Go get it, Mo! Go get it!
Drops it just inside the 10. And that will roll out of bounds at the 8. Nice kick from Sheen. Riders lead. Just over 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. Riders, if you're just joining us, leading 3-0. Dola Gala starts this drive on his own 8, deepest they've been to start a drive so far here this afternoon. They'll hand it off, a flag as Morrill takes it down the near side of the field. His best carry of the ball game. But that's likely coming back.
During the play, major foul face mask, Saskatchewan 87. We'll go back half the distance from the previous line of scrimmage. It's going to be first down repeated.
Bruno Lapel, the fullback, playing in the tight end spot on this run play. Just off the left tackle, got his hand up right here. He gets his hand up in the face of Jackson Jeffcoat. And the face mask, you see the left hand. There's no question about the foul. And it was right at the point of attack, holding Jeffcoat from being able to pursue.
Backs them up now on their own 4. 1st and 14. Dolegala gets it away. And that was deflected as he let it fly. And it falls incomplete. Well, today's a good day. Tomorrow, maybe.
Oh, baby.
CFL on TSN continues tomorrow with the doubleheader kicking off as the Argos take on the Ticats. That'll be a good one. Of course, that'll be followed by the Elks going head-to-head against the Stampeders. Action begins at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific only on TSN. We'll be there in Calgary for that one.
Trey Ford on a roll, 2-0 in his last 2.
The red-hot Edmonton Elks.
Snapped the skid at home, now down in Calgary. Diedrich Nichols is getting some medical attention on that last play.
This would be a big loss. Everybody speaks very highly about how important Diedrich Nichols is. Demario Houston, who has 7 interceptions, plays that side of the field with Nichols, who doesn't have a pick this year. But anytime you talk to Demario Houston, all he does is praise his relationship and his communication with Diedrich Nichols.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two guys working together, that communication's so important. O-line and DBs, where the key is communication, making sure you're all moving in the right direction. 8 knockdowns on the season for Diedrich Nichols, so he is getting to the ball and making plays. Just looking for his first interception. Demario Houston has been Nichols gets the assist. Houston's got the goals so
Pretty
far.
much.
Yeah.
That's how it's worked out. So Jamal Parker, who's been handling returns so far here today into the game, in place of Nichols. Dolegala, pressured, hit as he throws, has a completion to Jones, and a ton of room. Tevin Jones up to the 40, now to midfield, finding some space, and he's still on his feet. How about that for yards after the catch? Tevin Jones, biggest play of the ballgame.
When you're on a roll and you're leading the league in interceptions, man, you are tempted every single play to go ahead and try to undercut receivers. Demario Houston here with a new partner all of a sudden. He wants to undercut this. He goes on an angle too close to the line of scrimmage, too far towards the line of scrimmage, undercuts it too shallow, and Tevin Jones takes it around the edge. Dolegala had to throw with pressure in his face. Richie Hall, a little stunt up front, not necessarily full blitz, but Lawson right there.
64 yards to Jones, and the Riders in business. This one batted down. Willie Jefferson
again,
causing some issues.
Another one. 11 on the season. And I thought that Jake Dolegala at 6'7" might be the only guy in a long time that didn't look at, you know, this guy over here with his hands up and say, well, it's not an oak tree, it's a tree about the same size as me. But somehow Willie Jefferson gets his paw on it.
After that big play, Jones is already at 93 yards receiving in this game. Dolegala again stays in the pocket, looks down the field, has a completion near side, and picked it. His first catch of the game's a big one as well. And the Riders are knocking on the door.
Winston Rose takes a shot this time to undercut it again. A very deep out, but the big arm of Jake Dolegala shows here. He just slings this outside. Flick of the wrist type of throw. Rose tries to go for the pick. Ball sails just over his hand and picked it. Great concentration.
That went off his arm and then down into his body, and he's able to hang on. And the Riders are in the red zone. 43% on the year, inside the 20. First and goal from the Winnipeg 5. They'll give it to their running back, trying to find the end zone. Not this time. Bombers are there, Big Hill among others, and they wrap up Jamal Morrow.
Great scrape to the ball by Adam Bighill. I mean, Adam Bighill is just going to find the hole that Morrow wants, and number 4 meets him right in it. He tries to take it outside, and there's number 4 just slow playing it and filling the hole.
A drive that started on their own 8 was backed up to their own 4. Now they sit on the Winnipeg 3. Pipkin into the game for the Riders, looking to finish the job, trying to stretch it out towards the end zone. Is he in?
They're discussing. Nope, saying he's down.
Just short. How did they keep him out?
Well, Pipkin was patient on this quarterback. Well, it turns out to a quarterback sweep, really. He's trying to bob and weave his way through. Again, it's Adam Bighill getting there, and they turn him away. A little help from Brandon Alexander. I don't think that ball crossed the plane. No, it didn't.
As close as you can get. They'll do it again. Pipkin. Can he finish it this time? Pushing straight ahead. Touchdown Riders. Antonio Pipkin gets home. And the lead is 9.
Drive by Jake Dolegal, finished off by Antonio Pipkin. Picked up after the injury to Mason Fine, and there he is stretching across the plane.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. Then after the play, there's 2 15-yard misconduct fouls that even out. One against 37 Winnipeg, one against Saskatchewan. Touchdown is good. It's a conversion.
Antonio Pipkin finishes off an 8-play, 102-yard drive that took just under 4 minutes, highlighted by 64 yards to Tevin Jones and 37 more to Mitch Picton. Lawther out to make it an even 10. Strokes it home. Riders on top by double digits. Dolegala got it started. Antonio Pipkin finished the job.
TD drive by Jake Dolegala. This is the type of drive that really puts you on the map as a starting quarterback and go over 100 yards. Now, you got a little help from DBs for the Bombers that are trying to undercut some of his throws. And, you know, I get it. As a DB in this type of game is going to try, especially against a young quarterback, undercut some of those and make the big play on the interception, but they got beat twice there. Demario Houston on the first one, Rose on the second. That was 102 yards for Jake Dolegala, finished by Pipkin.
Lawther boots it away. Bobbled. Eventually scooped up at the 1. Brought back to the 9. No further. Riders on offense, defense, and special teams making it tough for Winnipeg. I guess it's safe to say Zach Collaros has been somewhat kept in check.
Wow. I mean, this is a team that averages almost 32 points per game. Zach Collaros' 4 games in a row was well over 300. They won by 30 after he had a real bumpy start in their last game. That's the story right now for Bomber fans.
There's a long way to go, and they're an offense
no
that can
question.
get big.
No question.
Still somewhat surprising. Collaros throwing here. There's a completion down the field. Shown, 3rd target of the game in his direction, and he hauls it in.
Yeah, that's how you get started. You know, you get 83 involved. They've tried this same play a couple of times, and this time connect right in the soft spot in the zone. Well, inside cut, get him out of the shadow of their own goalpost, but he'll get it going. This is a team that has won in a lot of different ways, faced a lot of different types of adversity, A lot of football to go here.
Of all the great teams they've had over the last 3 years, this is the one that's been the most dangerous offensively. Over 31 yards per game, like Glenn mentioned, which is the most for any Bombers team in the last 21 seasons. Collaros keeps it on the run to his right, looking down the field. That's where he goes to Dembski. One-handed and hauls it in. Spectacular stuff from Dembski. And the Bombers offense all of a sudden in high gear.
Get one going, and then you stack on the next play, and then one of your best, if not the best, in Nick Dembski. Just unreal. One hand stabs it. Good block to get Zach Collaros outside of the containment. But look at that catch down the field. One-hander. Yeah. Stick a fork in it, baby.
$50 yards on 2 plays. And that Winnipeg offense that we were wondering, where are they?
There they are.
They showed up.
Yeah.
Some helmet repairs for Dembski. See Pill Country in the distance there. I'm pretty sure it was packed about 40 minutes before game time.
See how hard it is for Zach Collaros to communicate in the huddle. It's really close. He was trying to hear Buck Pierce in his helmet. Could barely hear him there.
Gets it away just in time. On the run to his right again. Down the field. Laying up for it. Touchdown. Going and getting it. 5th of the season for Drew Wolotarski. In thrilling fashion.
Two plays in a row. One to Nick Dembski and one to Wolotarski. He's getting Zach Collaros out and around the edge. Get him out into space. This is Buck Pierce saying, okay, listen, we're struggling from the pocket. Zach Collaros is a very good athlete. Doesn't get enough credit for his ability to negotiate the pocket. He doesn't run a lot, but he'll get outside and can throw on the run with great accuracy. That's back-to-back plays. One to Dembski, one to 82, and they're in the end zone that quickly.
So dangerous when you get him on the run. Out to his right. We saw him connect. Castillo knocks it through, and we once again have a 3-point game. They did not waste any time. 3 plays for 100 yards in just over 2 minutes, Glenn. That's high efficiency football.
Well, hey, you know, this is a Bomber team that last week Zach throws 2 pick sixes. They win by 30. They didn't just win the game. They won by 30. You go back to after the Ottawa loss, they come back and win 5 straight games. It was like that was a wake-up call. It was like, okay, we figured out that one. They were down by 22 against the Edmonton Elks. They come flying back with their backup quarterback in that. This football team, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, have faced a lot of different types of adversity throughout the season, and they bounced back from it. Now the Riders have to respond.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is give the ball back to Winnipeg here with just over 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Frankie Hickson waiting back there with that man, Super Mario Alford.
Well, that'll grab you some momentum if Super Mario can do something with it.
From the 13. Has some space. Alford near sideline. And a nice return.
This is not a game. This is reality. You miss the line and you could die.
Gran Turismo, based on a true story.
Fitting that we get the promo for a movie about speedy cars after a Mario Alford return. That worked out well. 1st and 10 for Dola Gala. He's 6 of 13 for 138 yards. Has looked after the football so far. Jamal Morrow, 4 carries for just 4 yards. Dola Gala over the middle, has a completion down inside the Winnipeg 50. Schaefer Baker for the first time today hauls one in.
Great talk with Emelis this week, and he talked about Schaefer Baker just being this ball of energy for the football team. Big catch over the middle.
That takes us inside 3 minutes here in the half. Dolagala to Schaefer Baker, and the Riders, lots of time left.
To do what Watermelons at half, but we got in some trouble from the Saskatchewan Roughriders on social media.
I'm scared.
Me too.
You can only smash so many watermelons, you know? You can also wear them and do several things with watermelons. There's Dolagala hands it off to Mal Morrill, trying to find space. Bombers really just won't allow it. Kept him in check for sure.
It's one thing that Demario Houston doesn't get as enough credit for is he's third on defense and tackles.
Yeah, 31.
You know, short side corners got to make tackles in the run game too, and he stepped up there on Morrill.
3 yards for Morrill. That's his longest of the day.
Diedrich Nichols back at halfback, by the way. Can miss a series or two.
Sigh of relief from Bombers fans. Dolagala, 2nd and 7. Far side. Drops that one in there just in time, and it's held on to by Emelis. His first catch of the game late here in the second quarter.
I think there are no linemen down, but this is a nice speed cut by Emelis out here. And Dolagala, with his big arm, is going to bring him back. Pushes up the field, and watch him bring him back a couple of yards just to make sure there's a little separation between he and Rose.
Dolagala is at 175 yards through the air here in just on a huge stage going up against the Bombers.
I think Colin Kelly is the O lineman that's down. Looking at his right leg.
He was kind of hobbled up there, hopping on one leg in that last replay we saw of the catch from Emelis. It's an offensive line that's been able to protect their quarterback over the last little while. They've allowed just 3 sacks in their last 3 games.
It's Logan Bandy, who out of the University of Calgary, who will take over, 5th round pick for Saskatchewan at 11 starts.
Yeah, he started some games, right? So it's not an inexperienced option coming in here. Send a few guys out here to help the big man off the field.
It's over 30, and I don't want to pretend to well. He's not putting any weight on that right leg.
His 9th season in the CFL. He'll pop off. Doesn't look good though. No weight on that right leg. And straight to the tent for Kelly. 1st and 10 from the Bomber 35. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Riders with a slim lead. Completion. Dolagala almost sidearmed that thing to get it in to Emelis.
Well, don't be surprised to see more quick game as they try and settle the O-line a little bit. They're moving Logan Furlan, the right guard, out to right tackle for Colin Kelly. And Bandy will play the right guard. So he's going to go to the interior of the O-line. And while they settle that down, either run game or quick game passing to get it out of Jake Dolagala's hands are going to be important.
Well, that quick pass to Emelis went for 6, so 2nd and 4.
Timeout, Saskatchewan.
Riders call a timeout.
Take a look at what happened to Kelly. He's up there at right tackle, and I don't think he gets hit. I think it was a non-contact injury. He's just getting into that pass pro stance. Yeah, just his knee locked. A lot of pressure when Jackson Jeffcoat is bearing down and pushing you like that.
They've done a pretty good job keeping Dolagala on his feet so far today. No sacks the Winnipeg defense thus far. They'd love one here, 2nd and 4. Dolegala gets it away, almost one-handed and hauled in by Schaefer Baker. Alexander is there, and that will bring up 3rd down.
Jake Dolegala steps up nicely in the pocket here. He's just going to climb up into the pocket, and I'm watching the O-line for the Riders because against this front 4, it's going to be a challenge with that change and Bandy moving out or into guard and Ferland out to tackle. But Dolegala had lots of time there. He just a little bit behind Schaefer Baker, and Brandon Alexander makes the play.
Lawther hit one from a little bit deeper earlier in this game. He's at 14 in a row now. 27-yarder from just inside the right hash. No mistake about it. Knocks it home, and the lead sits at 6 with 90 seconds left in the first half of football. DeMario Houston just having an absolutely phenomenal season so far. For more on that, let's send it down to Britt Dort.
Yeah, and he has a little bit more work to do tonight because he told us yesterday he wants 2 interceptions and 1 pick 6 in this game because he likes to make a goal with a little bit of a reach before each matchup. And when I talked to his head coach about those amazing stats he's had so far this year, he said there's an old adage in football that talks about if you want to get the ball, you have to get to the ball. And you don't get stats like that if you're not hustling. He also, Houston, told us this is his first Labor Day Classic because he was injured last year, and it falls on his 27th birthday, so I'm sure a win would be a good present for him today, guys.
Well, he'd love that, wouldn't he?
Happy birthday.
Big birthday for DeMario Houston.
Yeah. Well, he cut under that one to Tevin Jones, taking a shot at it, because if he gets that one, there's the pick 6.
That's a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a touchdown going the other way. He was a little bit behind it, and Tevin Jones took it the other way for a big gain, but what a season he has had. 7 picks, and we're right around the midway point, just past it.
Told me a couple of weeks ago in high school he had a season where he had like 16 or 17 interceptions in 12 games. Just ridiculous stuff. 2nd and 5. Polaris gets it away, looking for a big shot down the field. Lays it out there. Schoen goes, but can't pull it in. He can't believe it.
Oh, by that reaction, it was right in front of Michael O'Shea and the Bomber bench.
All bounced up on the roller. The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It's 3rd down.
Jam at the...
I'd say he didn't have full control until he rolled out of bounds.
Well, he's inbounds with the knee now.
Oh.
But did it hit the ground?
Sure looks like it on that last angle we had.
Well, that official, I mean, no one had a better view of it than that official standing right there in front of him.
If anybody was going to get the call right, it's the official who's right in front of him here.
Oh, this angle will show it real well. It looked like he may have used the ground a little bit to help him.
So instead of a huge chunk, they'll have to kick it away. Alford on the far sideline. Back outside the 35.
Where it's DeMario Houston from Southern University, and the big rivalry for them was Grambling, and talked to us about it this week and how he loves these games. That's why I mean, when you're, you play in a sellout crowd, doesn't matter if you're the visiting team. You want to be the guy that just quiets them right down, just shut them down. If you want to do that, you get a pick 6. Nothing better than a pick 6 or a block kick, maybe a big kick return, but these guys love playing in this game, this weekend.
Less than a minute to go. Bombers will bring a little bit of heat. Dolegala gets it away, has Emelis. Spins off a man, near side, 1st down, out to the 50. And Emelis, his 3rd catch of the ball game, gets the job done for a 1st down.
Yeah, he talked about this being real important against a real good Bomber defense, and saying, showing a lot of respect for the Bombers, especially up front. Said, they get pressure without having to blitz, and that means that as a receiver, we need to make plays after we catch it. We need to make some yak yards after the catch, and look at that move. Just hitting that A button.
1st and 10. Big Hill's going to come right up the middle. Dolegala spins away. Now he's taken down. Stayed alive for an extra moment. But the Bombers were hungry and got there.
Yeah, this is a player that continues to keep making plays, and he's going to get the first contact in. Retta Cramdy coming off the edge. University of Montreal, and getting the start in this game tonight. He's the guy that flushes Dolegala up into the pocket and into the arms of Adam Bighill.
3rd sack of the season for Bighill. That backs him up big time. 7-yard loss. 2nd and 17 for Dolegala. In trouble again. Stays up. Heaves one down the field for Jones. Out of bounds. Working against Demario Houston.
Yeah, Houston just ran him out of room, and Dolegala was stepping up in the pocket trying to fade it to the outside. It just carried too far, but watch the matchup. Demario Houston loving this game, not biting on that first. Just think, you see, he on that play, Dustin, he thought about an interception 3 times. Every time he was running, he goes, okay, I got the guy. Maybe I can get it now. Nope, not now. I got the guy. I got him. Nope. I better check him. Okay, he's out of bounds.
He did turn and hesitate and think, I'm going up.
That's how you get 7.
Korsak, low kick. Spinning and bouncing at the 11. Parker picks it up at the 6. Trying to stretch it to the far side of the field. Forced back up the middle. And that is where the Riders will gobble them up. And that will do it for the first half of a Labor Day battle between the Bombers and the Riders. Zach Collaros, 4 completions for 102 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
Going in that last drive for a touchdown for Zach Collaros. So go back to their normal game planning.
Riders with the lead, and they will have the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Mario Alford with some blocking, finds some space, stays on his feet, still going. Excellent field position for the Riders off a nice return from Mario Alford. Let's take a look at Jake Dolegala's opening half.
Well, it was an up and down half, I think, in the first half. He made some plays, but had that big drive for 8 plays, 102 yards. Great discussion at halftime by all-star receiver and an all-star DB talking about it at these corners, taking some chances and cutting underneath, and Dolegala took advantage of it a couple of times. I'd do it against a young quarterback too.
Riders have lost 6 in a row to Winnipeg. They'll start on the ground, and it gets finished on the ground immediately. Jeffcoat all over Jamal Morrow, who was held to just 7 yards in the first half.
Yeah, Jeffcoat wasn't playing the fake, was he?
Not for a second.
He was crashing down. He just said, I'm going to go right to the run play. Now, he had Cramdy on the outside, so he didn't have contained responsibility there. Richie Hall dialing up a nice edge defense.
2nd and 13, 4 options to the wide side left here for Dolegala. In trouble, taken down. Adam Bighill with his 2nd sack of the ball game. This is how you start a half if you're the Bombers defense.
Yeah, and talk about football IQ. Watch how Adam Bighill will angle himself this way with the tackle and then come off the edge. It's like a way to buy himself that good angle. He goes outside to attack the tackle and then come off the edge. So Lofton gets pushed wider and he closes in from outside in.
High kick from Korsak this time. Taken just outside the 10 on the return. Parker taken down just outside the 20. Zach Collaros in the first half. Started slow, finished strong.
Yeah, Nick Marshall got him early on in the first quarter with an interception. And he had completed just 1 pass for a lot of the quarter, and that was an underhand kind of toss, which registers as a forward pass to Nick Dembski, but he got that 1 drive going. Dembski with a great catch down the sideline. Found Wolotarski for the touchdown. And get that little bit of traction for that Bomber offense.
Claris, time in the pocket. He's one down the field. Broken up. Was looking for Kenny Lawler, who didn't have a catch in the first half.
Yeah, Nick Marshall, as he's diving into it. I know Michael O'Shea's interested. It almost like he reached for the flag to possibly challenge us. Yeah. There's Lawler right there. He's a 3 receiver to that 4 receiver side. He's got to work to get to. I think Nick Marshall turned nicely to play the ball.
No challenge, 2nd and 10. Claris dumps it off. Ball knocked loose, scooped up by the Riders, and they'll take it home for a touchdown for now. Miles Brown on the fumble recovery, but will it be ruled an incomplete pass?
Yeah,
it will.
Third down.
Jason Shivers.
Things continued there.
Jason Shivers was trying to motion to the official that this was control, but you're going to see a great angle of it here. Watch Oliveira out of the backfield. Does he have control of it when it's popped out? Now that's super slow motion, so it twists the perception of it, perspective of it, but
looked like he was still bringing it in as it was knocked out.
Yeah, you can have control without putting it under your arm.
Yeah.
But that happened pretty quickly. Incomplete pass was the ruling. I think they got it right.
Garrison Sheen, low driving kick, bounces at the 39. Alford picks it up there. After a 49-yard kick, takes it back just shy of the Rider 50. Nice field position for Nola Gala when we return.
Samuel Emelis, Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Down the field for Emelis. Holy smokes! What a catch by Emelis! Goes up and gets it.
You're watching the Labor Day Classic on TSN.
It has been fun watching him kind of break out this season, hasn't it?
Mini S.J. Green right there.
1st and 10. Back on the ground. Short pickup, but more than they've gotten on a few other occasions into the hands of Jamal Morrow. They're certainly not going away from it just yet.
No, and I don't think they should, but, you know, a couple of runs where they looked like they were getting the run game going. They had penalties that brought the gains back. Kelly Jeffrey wants to try and keep some balance in there, not put his quarterback in a constant passing situation.
In a passing situation here, Dolegala wastes no time. Gets it away on the far side. Looks like it's enough for a first down to Sean Bain, and that'll be his first catch of the ball game.
Yeah, I was talking to, it was a good conversation by Davis Sanchez and Milt Stegall at halftime about DBs trying to undercut plays. And, you know, I for one, would never tell a DB, don't try and make a play. But when you have the fundamentals of breaking on a ball, you break to the upfield shoulder, which happens here by Dedrick Nichols. Break to the upfield shoulder. If you feel like you can get it, use your IQ cut underneath.
Finally, some space for Morrow right up the middle for a first down inside the 25 before he's eventually taken down by Demario Houston.
Bradley's coming from the backside, and it's just too hard an angle to get there. It looks like he has the only crack at it. Willie Jefferson stays wide. He's got contained responsibility. Cramney tried to get there, but Jamal Morrow jumped out of that tackle.
26 yards, by far his biggest run of the game. On the Winnipeg 22, Dolegala back to his running back, who gets pummeled down right near the line of scrimmage. This time it was Hickson into the game.
little bit of physicality here, and
the hole just wasn't big enough.
no.
He tried to sneak through.
Back on the roster. Missed 3 games due to injury.
Gave him a yard. 2nd and 9. Dolagala with pressure towards the end zone for Emelis. Broken up. He went up to try to get it. Nichols was there. Dietrich Nichols banged up earlier in the game. Back in it here and makes a big play.
Well, based on the game against the Lions, I'm not surprised that Jake Dolagala will just take some chances with Sam Emelis, and even though he may be covered, just give him a chance to go up and make a play, win a jump ball. He did it a couple of times against a good Lions secondary. But this is what Demario Houston was telling us about Dietrich Nichols. He may not have a pick, but he is one of the all-stars back there.
How quickly did he close at the end of that play to get over there and get his arm on that ball? Lothar knocks another one through. 16 in a row for Brett Lothar. 16 points for the Riders. Zach Collaros 4 of 11 in this ball game. Just 4 completions. 6 minutes into the 3rd quarter. 3 of them came back to back on that 100-yard drive that ended up in a touchdown. Riders have done a decent job against them the rest of the night. Still nothing to Kenny Lawler. Back on the ground for Brady Oliveira. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage. No further.
Lanier crashes this. He just comes in and decides to crash this run, and likely will have secondary contain, and he does from Micah Tight. So we've seen it with on the other side with Willie Jefferson. When you got a linebacker that has contain, you can crash down on the run game.
Injured Rider just inside the 50. Jaden Dalkey out of the University of Alberta. Here comes out. Taking a look at him. He's fitting well with this defense so far this season.
Yeah, really well. And he was coming up on the run support there and got tangled up with Nick Dembski.
Try to get an update on Dalkey when we return. Dalkey out of this game. Jackson Ford, 11th overall pick out of the University of Regina. The rookie draws in on the big stage here, Glenn.
Had a great camp. Don't be surprised at all if Zach Collaros tries to test him a little bit.
22 years old, thrown into this game. Collaros under pressure. Now he's going to take off up the middle, wrapped up the 45. Did a good job getting any positive yards there, and now in the face of Derek Moncrief. You don't see Zach trash talk a lot, but here he is.
No, you don't. Maybe just poke the bear a little bit here. And Zach Collaros, again, his movement in the pocket, not known as a runner, but he is outstanding, just buying time. And look at the trash talking afterwards. Just noticed it. Well, it is Labor Day. I mean, it's Labor Day. It's Labor Day weekend. Okay, everything's different.
Are you enjoying the long weekend? I am enjoying the long weekend. I think that's probably what they were saying.
Are you not entertained?
This kick just away. Big one, too. Alford takes it at the 11. Tripped down early in the return after a punt of well more than 50 yards.
Well, the Bombers have had the edge the last couple of years on this weekend, but if you look at the overall big picture, 14 wins for Saskatchewan in the last 17 Sunday Labor Day weekend games. in this classic. Now the rematch, if you want to go and talk about the Banjo Bowl, just flip that around.
Are you saying there's something to home field advantage?
Especially this weekend.
Riders lead 16-7. Dolegala keeps it this time, slides ahead, a decent chunk on first down. It'll be second and short.
Yeah, Jake Dolegala's got to do this every now and then, and both quarterbacks for that matter, because, you know, we've seen how defensive ends like to crash on the run game, especially in first down. Well, unless the quarterback does this once in a while, they're going to continue to crash down on the running backs. So you have to keep them honest by pulling it one or two times.
He gave him 8 to the sideline now. Pipkin into the game on 2nd and 2. Pipkin with a touchdown earlier in the game, trying to string it up.
No,
Takes
sir.
a loss on the play. Evan Holm was all over him.
I'm not sure about short yardage in 2nd and 2. Unless you're going straight up, you certainly don't want to lose yards unless you're deciding, if you're Craig Dickinson, to go for sure if you only get 1. And you're going to go on 3rd and 1 in your own 30-yard line, but taking it wide, Holm just cuts off the angle.
Yeah, just bounced off of Jamal Morrow and right on to Pipkin. Takes a 2-yard loss on the play, and now it'll be Korsak called into duty.
Easy to second guess, Dustin, and you know, if it works, Rider fans are going, hey, that's brilliant. Put Pipkin on short, 2nd down and 2.
Parker slides to his right, takes it cleanly at the 28. 53-yard kick. Return just shy of the 40. Buckle up. We got a good finish.
You're doing it. And Larry Dean told me you might even see guys on the sideline during the game doing their push-ups. If they took a penalty when they're watching film, he says the whole group does it. Doesn't matter if one guy jumps offside, we're all offside. So head coach Craig Dickinson's message, something that's in our control that can help us win games. Let's play with discipline and have a high football IQ, guys.
This just goes back to one of my theories that doing push-ups suck. Right? So you want to stay disciplined.
Well, it's also about taking accountability, and that's exactly what Britt was mentioning, that you got to stand up in front of your teammates.
Kolaris, a hold here as he gets out of the pocket, dumps it off to Dembski. Dembski just shy of a first down, but as Zach maneuvered out of the pocket, a clear hold against his offensive lineman.
Yeah, you talked about these two teams being the top 2 teams in the league and fewest penalties.
Holding, Winnipeg 64. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
That one's going to put them back on a 2nd down over, but you know, that accountability being so important. See the holding up at the right at the point of attack, right in front of the official. Pete Robertson.
Coming into this game, Winnipeg 6.1 penalties per game for 597 yards on the year. Riders 610 yards on the season. First and a lot. He's going to look for a lot. He going down the field for Dembski. Falls incomplete. He was in one-on-one against Moncrief, but it falls short.
It's a guy that Zach Kolaris has not been able to get going in this game. I mean, we had the one catch down the sideline, and that was a brilliant catch.
Highlight reel.
The one hand, yeah. But Dembski has been a guy that they've tried to get the ball to, and you could see the safety Jackson Ford taking away the inside, so that's why the corner out. Didn't test Jackson Ford on those first couple of throws.
Kolaris just under 70% on the season, is 4 for 12 in this game. Gonna look over the middle again. That one up for grabs and falls incomplete. Really late flag coming out here. It was Amari Henderson in coverage. Play was well over before that flag was thrown.
We just talked about 2 teams that don't get a lot of penalties.
Pass interference, Saskatchewan number 16. Automatic first down for Winnipeg.
two guys that don't get, or two teams that don't get a lot of penalties, and this is Lawler running that dig route right over the middle. Jackson Ford has to go with the deeper of the two, which is Dembski, so that's not attacking him in any way. I don't know. Well, you see the left arm around the waist of Kenny Lawler, not allowing him to jump up. And Craig Dickinson's looking to possibly, nope.
He had the flag.
He had it in his hand.
But he tucked it back in. 1st and 10. Back on the ground. Brady Oliveira broke a couple of tackles and eventually is wrapped up right in midfield. Nick Marshall in his face. Conversation continues.
Just talking about the pass interference, I would suggest again. You know, you think about this game right now, we're almost into the 4th quarter, the highest scoring team in the league at almost 32 points again. The Riders give up a ton of points on defense, 9th in the league at 27.2. That high-scoring Winnipeg offense has got just 7 on the board.
Riders have given up 125 points in just their last 4 games, which is close to 32 per game. Kalara's looking for some of these points here. Escapes. Now he's going to send one way down the field for Dembski. Lays down, tries to get it, and he does. Nick Dembski inside the 5. There's the big play to number 10.
And here's the subtle negotiation of the pocket from Zach Collaros, who doesn't get enough credit for this. He works on this. He said back in his days in Hamilton, Tommy Condell would tell him, you know, sometimes it's not you running. You see a lot of running quarterbacks in the CFL, but it's not that. It's just little movements.
Oliveira stuffed.
Just a subtle shift one side or the other, climbing up in the pocket. We see that all the time from all the quarterbacks. But his quick feet and ability to adjust there, get an extra second or two, and he finds Dembski on what they started out by calling the Willie Mays throw. Now they call it the Dembski.
Oh, he Dembski'd it.
He Dembski'd.
Prukop into the game, 2nd and goal from the Rider 3. 4 rushing touchdowns this season for Dakota Prukop. From the Saskatchewan 3-yard line, Prukop hands it off. Oliveira walks it in. Touchdown, Winnipeg. And they creep closer. Brady Oliveira finds the end zone. 5th rushing touchdown of the year.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Flags everywhere. This is all extracurricular, isn't it?
Yeah, all after the play was long over. Untouched for the touchdown, Brady Oliveira. So you've got 1 vote for top Canadian for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Who you got?
Don't ask me that. Don't ask. What are you trying to do to me here?
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. After the touchdown, there are 2 15-yard misconduct fouls that balance each other out. Winnipeg 53, Saskatchewan 3. We're going to do the convert now.
Ben Major has done a nice job of containing that and doing sort of the offsetting penalties for the after the whistle stuff. And there goes Oliveira off the left side, nicely blocked up front. He's not even touched for the touchdown.
I think I would vote for Brady Oliveira. Castillo makes it a 2-point ball game with 1:21 remaining in quarter number 3.
Well, I tell you, that was well blocked up front. Just straight down blocking here from the O-line. Down block, down block, down block. And then the fullback, Damian Jackson, he's going to come across with the kick out. And watch how well blocked this is. Here comes the kick out block on Moncrief. Right there. Moncrief gets turned away, and Oliveira walks in.
Monster season continues for Brady Oliveira.
Well, that's when you're an OC You draw that up, and that's exactly how you hope it looks. Down block, kick out from the fullback, and away you go.
Brady Oliveira now just 29 yards away from being the first running back to hit the 1,000-yard mark this season. Nobody else even remotely close at this point. And we'll see how the Riders react. Alford takes it at the 11. Mario Alford looking for some space on the far side of the field. Gets out to the 40, and that is where they will wrap him up. 45, but once again, a nice return from Super Mario, and the Riders start with excellent field position.
Yeah, anything over the 40, you're getting your offense in a good position. You've got 2 or 3 first downs for at least field goal. Very important drives right after a score for the opposition. Game and the momentum can go one of 2 ways here. It can go back and forth, or Bombers start to roll.
Winnipeg has won 6 in a row against their Regina rivals. Dolegala in trouble, stays on his feet, finds his running back. Jamal Morrow looking for space, near side, and he's got a first down. Not exactly how they drew it up, but it works.
Yeah, this was an offensive coordinator. Unlike the touchdown we just showed you when you draw it up and that's exactly where you want it. Well, this one's drawn up as an intermediate throw. Go ahead and run it, guys, because Dolegala's got to make it up now. He wanted that out route down there, didn't like it, pulls it down, bumps into his own guy, sees the check down in Morrow. Morrow makes a couple miss. That's the exact opposite of drawing it up and seeing it executed exactly the way you drew it up.
Big Hill and Rose had cracks at him. Dolegala again, this time down the field, and that one is incomplete. It was his running back who he was looking for. Like they brought a little bit of heat up the middle again. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and I don't think Jamal Morrow knew he was the primary target. He came off the line of scrimmage, and Kyrie Wilson was in coverage kind of high on him, and he kind of 3/4 speeded off the line, and Dolegala threw it out there and he couldn't adjust.
Riders work from the Bomber 50 late here in the 3rd quarter. They'll hand it off down to the 45.
Again, right on that bubble as to where you're either kicking a field goal or going punt here. Or in some cases, some teams and some coaches will actually elect to go for it on 3rd down here.
Now Lothar is out there. His season long is from 54. He hasn't missed from inside 51 since week 1.
He's going to have to drive this one. This is a long kick. It means it's low coming off the tee.
53-yard attempt from just inside the left hash on Labor Day for Lothar. That one is up, and it is good with room to spare. Brett Lothar remains red hot. 17 straight field goals, and the Riders lead by 5. Cancel the rest of your plans if you had any. Big time 4th quarter coming up between the Bombers and the Riders. Lothar has the Riders up by 5. After 3 quarters, as we have a perfect Sunday to sort of wrap up the summer here.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, happy Labor Day weekend to all Canadians. This stadium's full. We're going to see big crowds tomorrow for Labor Day Monday. And, you know, I know there's thousands of folks watching from their motorhomes.
The ruling on the field was a success.
Got their makeshift television set up by the lake or wherever. It's that final weekend before the kids go back to school. This is jam-packed sellout here. Lots of blue in the stands too. So hope you're enjoying it, Canada, and thanks for watching.
There was an unnecessary roughness penalty after the kick. 15 yards, which means the Bombers will start this drive at midfield instead of the 40. Zach Collaros has to love that. Down by 5. Starting at midfield. There's Kenny Lawler, and he's got it. First catch of the game for 89.
Well, Kenny Lawler, by his alignment, moves way inside to give himself the two-way go now. He's got lots of room in the middle, which he always will as if you're wide out even. But he's also got about 30, 35 yards on the outside. So it really keeps Nick Marshall guessing. He played off him.
Collaros on the run to his right. Over the middle, drops it in there. Wide open is shown inside the 20. And a quick drive coming together for Winnipeg.
Bombers have had most of their success offensively when they move the launch point. When they get Zach Collaros in this game outside, this time it was on his own, just bouncing, negotiating, buy some time, and there's Schoen. This is the area where you go back to 83. Is a nose for the end zone.
7 touchdowns on the year for Schoen after 16 as a rookie. Bombers inside the red zone from the Rider 18. Gets it away quickly to Dembski, looking for a block. Dembski makes one man miss and takes it just inside the 10-yard line. Winnipeg working quickly.
Absolutely, little tempo, call it at the line of scrimmage. Make some substitutions now because they realize that it's real short and going with short yardage team.
Krukop gets the call here. Over the years, they've worked him in passing once in a while.
Oh yeah,
in these types of situations. Maybe he'll just push ahead here and try to pick up this first down. That's exactly what he does. And he gets the job done effortlessly, really. Great push from that offensive line.
Jeff Gray, Stanley Bryant, little road grading off the left side. They bring in Eli to help out. Almost play like a tight end, and what a push off the left side.
Drive that started at midfield. Quick work for Winnipeg. First and goal from the Rider 6, looking for their first lead of the ball game. Collaros dumps it off. Bailey stays on his feet, at least momentarily. Ford and Henderson are there to wrap him up. First catch of the ball game for Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey tried to disguise like he was going to come out here and go out to this open side, but he actually doesn't and shoots out the backside. This is to try and get the Rider defense to over-adjust and react to that open side of the field. They don't play sound football, and it's Jackson Ford, the backup safety that's in for Dalkey, that makes the tackle.
Derek Moncrief is down and being tended to. He's been absolutely all over the place in this game so far today. There's a look at Jackson Ford. Second round draft pick thrown into the game with an injury to Jaden Dalkey. As they look at Moncrief, we'll stick game for Moncrief, who looked okay. He hopped up and ran off the field. A little bit of a stinger there. Bombers down by 5. Working from the Rider 7.
Watch Dalkey.
Collaros escapes. Sack Collaros to the back of the end zone, too high. Schoen went up for it.
Trying to get it to him.
Couldn't haul it in. And a short field goal attempt coming for Winnipeg.
Yeah, this is the area where they love to go to 83. This is Dalton Schoen. Little double move there and gets Nick Marshall, but the ball is a little bit late and obviously high and away. Jackson Ford from inside out, helping out Nick Marshall on the coverage.
Sergio Castillo, a chip shot here, just shy of 93% so far this season. no problem. And we've got a 2-point ball game at Mosaic. Scan the QR promo code on the screen to get 50% off Crave Premium for your first 3 months and start streaming the best series and latest hit movies on Crave. I'm rewatching Game of Thrones for about the 6th time on Crave right now. We've got a tight ball game here, don't we?
Oh, yeah. This is what we want. Down in the
one of those spots where you can take 5-6 minutes off the clock here. It would go a long way for the home side. 1st and 10 from the 40. They'll go to the running back. A couple of yards on 1st down.
packed house and a souvenir for the crowd on that last field goal for Winnipeg. Here it goes. Kick is up. It's good. And watch the good hands in the end zone to Glowman. He's got that fluorescent green going on there.
A great shirt and even better hands. 2nd and 7. Just over 10 to play. Golagala near side. Got it into the hands of Bain, and he turned it upfield for a 1st down.
Yeah, and this is again back to that conversation with David Sanchez and Milt. Watch how Diedrich Nichols plays fundamentally sound here. He believes now he's in a bit of a chase, so if he cuts under there and Bain catches that, turns the corner, and it's a huge gain. Played it smart, pushes him out of bounds, live to play another day. That's fundamentally sound football.
Fresh set from their own 51. Near side. Jones hauls that one in, but he's wrapped up immediately by Houston. And that'll limit the pickup to just a couple of yards.
Yeah, Houston took a shot at trying to knock it down.
Stayed close enough, though, he could wrap him up.
Yeah, look at him shaking his head. He was inside position, eyes on the quarterback, and he jumped it, and then he went just cautious a little bit there, makes the tackle. A bit of cat and mouse game going on with these corners on both sides, which is fun to watch.
2nd and 8 for Golagala. Has time and throws that one incomplete. Miscommunication there with Tevin Jones.
Well, they wanted a double move. So because of what Demario Houston's been doing, cutting under a couple of plays, they go back to that, and this time they try to get Tevin Jones on a double move. So make him jump it, try and get him up, and then he didn't bite. He didn't bite on it, so Golagala threw it back shoulder.
Korsak out. Bombers defense has forced them to kick it away. That bounces at the 4 into the end zone.
No yards.
Riders on top at home.
I'm Zach Kolaris, quarterback of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Kolaris down the field again, and he's got it again. Touchdown! Are you kidding me?
And you're watching the Labor Day Classic on TSN.
It's an incredible scene here in Regina. Packed house. Great tradition and a great finish in store for us. 2017 completion to Brady Oliveira. He turns it upfield for a 1st down. There was a no yards flag as we went to break. Winnipeg declined the penalty, gave up the point, and then took the field position up at the 40, which is where they begin here.
Yeah, and so much time left. You know, you still don't. You're not giving up the 4th point. So a tie still extends the game with the field goal. But we're way ahead of talking about those decisions in the last couple of minutes of this game.
Crowd at Mosaic trying to crank it up a notch here. They'll give it to Dembski. Dembski turns it upfield, finds some room. And is wrapped up. Pretty good tackle there by the rookie Ford to stop him just shy of a first down.
Just two outstanding play calls from Buck Pierce. Plays we haven't seen in this game tonight. Seen it before for the Bombers. This fly sweep underneath to Nick Dembski. That first one, they had Lawler and Schoen going full speed down the field and got Brady Oliveira out of the backfield with lots of space. And this time it's Dembski's turn on the second play.
Big boys in. Jordan Prukop to pick up the yard they need. Straight ahead again. One of these times I kind of expect him to emerge on the other side of the pile.
Well, he goes off that left side, and that's Stanley Bryant and Jeff Gray, and he's done that twice now. And they needed 2, he gets 4. I'd say if I could pick, and you could almost go across the whole league, any offensive lineman to follow, probably be Stanley Bryant.
He'd go early in a draft of offensive linemen. There's no doubt about that. Oliveira right up the middle, tripped up, stumbles, but still rolls ahead for what might be very close to a first down, just shy. It might be Prukop time again.
His high percentage plays from Buck Pierce here. Get Brady Oliveira up the middle, a little fly sweep to Nick Dembski. That swing pass to start this drive to Brady Oliveira, and then back to short yardage.
Because it's worked, you just go behind that left side of the offensive line again. Prukop this time changes it up. And he's got another first down.
Yeah, clearly he heard us. Clearly he heard us. He said, no, I don't mind going either way. Because I got Jamarcus Hardrick and Pat Neufeld on the other side. And folks in the province of Saskatchewan know all about Patrick Neufeld, U of S grad.
Winnipeg.
Great play calling by Buck Pierce on this drive. High percentage plays, really low risk, moving it down the field.
Winnipeg driving here, down 3. Kolaris over the middle, has a man at the 10, staying on his feet, still going as shown, and eventually Larry Dean has enough and takes him down. Third catch of the game for Schoen.
Yeah, Dalton Schoen is a 2 receiver to the short side of the field, and a couple of times now backup safety Jackson Ford has favored one side, almost like cover 2, so the middle's vulnerable.
Brady Oliveira breaks 1 tackle, couldn't avoid the second and third, and they stop him at the 5.
Cover 2 just means too deep, but if you give it away too soon or too early against a veteran quarterback, he'll go right over the middle. That's what Dalton Schoen, exactly where he went. And there's that second first down run to Oliveira. This is Dalton Schoen time again.
Second and goal from the 5. Bombers have yet to lead in this ball game. Keeps it, gets it away, incomplete, might have been deflected at the line, and that brings up third down.
Well, that was ill-advised from, I believe it was it Pete Robertson, or was it? No, Pete Robertson got his hand on the ball.
Kolaris still down on one knee.
Well, after the throw, it looked like a rider. It looked like what it might have been a linebacker who almost head-butted him. And now here's a late flag.
After the play, we have a major foul. Unnecessary roughness. Saskatchewan, number 45. We're going to go up half the distance. It's going to be first down for Winnipeg.
So the flag has been thrown on this play.
that's going to get called every time. That's just a bad decision by Pete Robertson.
That is
made the play, got his hand on it, and then
that is an all-time bad decision from Robertson, considering everything was good.
And now the injury spotter is going to take Zach Collaros out of the game, which he doesn't like, but that's the right thing to do. Because he was slow to get up. At any indication that you might be under distress, you're going to be pulled out whether you like it or not. So he has to sit out 3 plays and be examined on the sideline, at least 3. But you're right. Terrible decision by Pete Robertson.
There's bad decisions, and then there's that decision. Winnipeg was likely going to take a field goal to tie this game. Instead, it's completely turned. 1st and goal from the 3. Boy, that's a play that'll be talked about for a long time. This is somewhat Crew Cup territory here anyway for Winnipeg, with Zach being taken out of the game. 1st and goal from the Rider 3. Brady Oliveira trying to find some space, pushing ahead, and he will. He gets home, Brady Oliveira. 2nd one today. And for the first time in this game, Winnipeg has the lead.
You know, we talked about it, and Brett talked about it from the sideline, that Saskatchewan Roughriders and Craig Dickinson had worked really hard in the offseason and in training camp and throughout the first half of this season to eliminate bad decisions that cost your team in the penalty department. And Pete Robertson just forgot about it. Brain cramp. Now Zach Collaros has got to sit out and be examined and make sure he clears the protocol on the sideline before he can return.
Yeah, there's no tent up over there or anything, so sit out the plays. Castile puts Winnipeg up by 4. A 9-play, 70-yard drive that took 4 minutes and 51 seconds. But it looked like the Riders were going to hold them to a field goal until Pete Robertson lost his mind. Wow, a Labor Day not so classic.
Solid plays from the Bomber offense. Great play calling, shot over the middle to Dalton Schoen, and then one add-on play because of a bad decision by Pete Robertson. Here's the 9th. It took 4 minutes and 51 seconds, went 70 yards for a touchdown. That's the difference, that one decision.
Likely a phone call from the league coming as well. Now Mario Alford trying to change things the other way. Alford trying to stretch it out, stays on his feet, trying to turn it up the field, and he does. Alford to midfield, and just like that, courtesy Super Mario, the Riders are back in business.
Mario Alford is being a great teammate right now for Pete Robertson.
No doubt.
He's saying, hey, let's keep your head in the game, keep it up. You're going to need that guy. You're going to need your teammate. Pretty soon, let's just keep making plays, keep at it, down by 4. It's a heck of an effort around the edge.
Holm and Parker kind of got tied up there, and they both went down, and that opened up Alford for an extra 15 yards on the play. And with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left, Dolegala knows that a field goal will not be enough. He's 14 of 26, 231 yards passing. Thrown to the fire here. Bombers bring some pressure. Dolegala, high pass. Misses everybody. Had Emelis over there, and we know he likes to high point the ball, but he would have had to have been as tall as his quarterback to haul that one in.
Yeah, I just, this is just a little hitch screen. And the idea being that Emelis catches this and then makes a couple moves. We've seen it before in this game. That just sailed on him.
2nd and 10. Huge down here. Dolegala over the middle, and that one incomplete. Schaefer Baker covered well by Holm. Dickinson has his challenge flag in his hand.
I was going to say, Ryder
And he's thrown it, Glenn.
And he's thrown it. Schaefer Baker goes down. Bang move back to the outside. Was the contact there early?
Was that hand holding the hip down?
Not allowing him to jump. Did the hand, the left hand?
Saskatchewan is challenging the ruling on the previous play. They believe there should have been pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
Let's take one more look at it here.
Ball's in the air now. Contact made. You can have the right arm on the back of a receiver. You just can't twist him or pull him or hold him from jumping.
It's close, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a real close one. I mean, the contact's made early. It's got to be determined by the command center if home didn't allow Schaefer Baker to jump.
Was his process going up stalled by the contact, basically, right?
Yeah, here's his route, Dustin. He's going to go in there and then back out to the outside. And he's able to run his route. There's no interference prior to the ball. Now the ball's in the air. It's just a matter of, was the contact early and did it not allow him to fully extend?
That one's very close. I would not want to be in the command center making this call right now. Because you're right, Glenn. It's a split second. It's a timing thing, isn't it? Tough one, maybe, to overturn, considering how close it was.
And there was no flag.
The ruling on the field was a clean play. Let's get a ruling now.
Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. Saskatchewan loses their challenge and their last team timeout. It's third down.
That one was so close, and I've always said, if it's really close, whatever happens on the field, whether it was a flag thrown and PI or no flag, which was the case, leave it on the field.
So after a couple of quick incompletions, Adam Korsak out with just over 3 minutes left to kick this away to Jamal Parker. Stands at his 10. Parker will watch it bounce. And that one will trickle into the end zone. And he will once again take a knee. Less than 3 minutes to play.
It's a big point.
All of a sudden, it's just a 3-point game. From the sideline, as his team with just a 3-point cushion.
Well, that's a big point to give up. A little surprised the Bombers did that. They get better field position, but
now a field goal would tie it. They're probably thinking their offense seals it away. They'll hand it off. Brady Oliveira found a little bit of space. Going to get about 3 yards on this first down carry.
now challenge by Craig Dickinson means he does not have a timeout because they did not win the challenge. Jamal Parker's decision, though, and maybe it was the coaching staff's decision to give up the single point, means a stop here by the Riders, and all they need is a field goal to extend this to overtime.
Crowd at Mosaic to their feet. 2nd and 7 for Collaros. Gets it away. Marshall knocks it down. He was looking for Lawler in the veteran corner. Bats it away. 3rd and 7 for Winnipeg.
Sometimes you jump a route, sometimes you take a chance, and sometimes you play good, solid technique and get the knockdown going to the right shoulder, the proper break on the ball, and Nick Marshall plays that one. Sound fundamentals. Comes back on maybe the key play of the game here. We'll see what Dolegala can do and what this Bomber defense has dialed up for him here, but they're going to get the ball back.
Osha's holding his challenge flag on the far sideline as well, but thought better of it. Jamison Sheen kicks it away. Mario Alford takes it just inside the 20. Alford back to the 30, stays on his feet along the far sideline, and they will mark him out at the 40-yard line with $1:56 on the clock.
Yeah, now with 2 minutes, you're not necessarily, you can get a couple of chunk plays here and maybe take a shot at the end zone in regulation, but goal now for Jake Dolegala, run the offense, and field goal position is 30 yards away.
You've got a kicker who's 4 for 4 tonight and hit one from 53. Keep that in mind. 1st and 10 for the Riders from their own 40. Dolegala over the middle, incomplete, looking for Stearns. Felt the heat from the Bombers, got it away, but Jareth Stearns could not hang on.
Brandon Alexander, the safety, he was flying downhill to either make the hit, the interception, or the play there. And I think Stearns felt it coming.
Second and 10. Down by 3 for the home side. 4 options out to the wide side right for Dolegala. Looks that way, throws that way, has a completion, trying to push ahead just shy of a first down. Is Sean Bain Jr. He'll be about a yard short.
Jake Dolegala looked outside beyond Sean Bain. Watch him, eyes outside, and then right hard over the middle, extra couple of yards, inches.
Dolegala stays in this game, trying to push it ahead, and he's got enough for the Rider first down. 1:41 to play. No Pipkin in that time. Left the big fella in there to push ahead.
Well, and it had the Bomber defense scrambling a little bit to get lined up properly.
Creeping towards field goal range for Lawther. From the 51. Dolegala has a completion on the near side. This time back to Jareth Stearns. Short pickup, 4 yards on first down.
About 10 yards away from a long attempt, but makeable for Brett Lawther.
No real breeze here on a warm day in Regina.
But a new set of downs is the priority.
2nd and 7, empty backfield. 4-man pressure. Dolegala down the field, has a completion at the 40. Finds his running back Jamal Morrow, and that will put them within field goal range for Brett Lawther.
This is start number 3 for Jake Dolegala, and how about him in the pocket with great poise, setting up, stepping into a deep out throw. That's a tough one to make. You got to be accurate and on the money, and he was.
Second catch of the game for Morrow. 1st and 10 from the Winnipeg 39. Big Hill trying to get there. They dump it out to Morrow. Takes it inside the 40, down to the 30, stays on his feet. Jamal Morrow finally tripped up at the 15. Almost a house call, but the Bombers are there to wrap him up with 61 seconds on the clock.
Great touch to give Jamal Morrow the ball out in front of him so he can start thinking about where he's going with it, and he takes advantage.
The Riders aren't just thinking field goal. 50 seconds on the clock. They're looking to get the lead back. 1st and 10 from the Winnipeg 15. Dolegala pressure, gets it away, has a completion on the far side. Found Bain, tackled almost immediately by DeMario Houston. 37 seconds to play.
Now the Riders can get a first down without scoring. This isn't second and goal.
Timeout. Winnipeg.
Bombers going to get a timeout, give their defense a bit of a breather.
A little bit of a reset here. What a drive from Jake Dolegala in his third career starts on this stage against this defense, and he has marched the Riders within striking distance.
Richie Hall, defensive coordinator. Does he dial up full blitz and see if Jake Dolegala can recognize it, take the hot route? Does he play press man with...
They got to hurry.
Got to get out there.
Clock ticking down. How can you not love this? Dolegala batted down. Hung up there for a moment, but that will bring up third down. It was Kyrie Wilson who got in his face.
Just they had to hustle. He's coming from the left here to get the knockdown, Wilson, but just the fact that I think the Saskatchewan Roughriders offensively a little late getting back on the field. They were down to 2 seconds on the play clock.
He was running back out with 14 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, they just kind of misjudged that, and because that a rush throw wasn't able to sit there, and now see if they can tie it up.
Lothar hammers it through, and we are dead locked at 24 with 31 seconds on the clock. Riders and Bombers living up to the hype.
How big was the Jamal Parker decision?
I'd say pretty significant.
To give up a single point when they had a 4-point lead. But the Bombers now, they have in the return game, get up around midfield. You've got maybe 2 plays to get in field goal range yourself, but they'll need a return to get it done. Now, did the Riders squib kick this, hit it hard along the ground?
Lothar, by the way, 5 for 5 this evening.
Plus the onside kick to start the game.
That's true. And he executed that perfectly. So Greg McCray will be back to return here. Half a minute to go. Lothar hammers this one. McCray takes it cleanly at the 12. McCray just shy of the 30 before he's taken down by Thomas Bertrand Hudon.
Now keep in mind that Jaden Dahlke left this game. They've got their backup, hasn't had a lot of playing time in Jackson Ford. Great kid, had a great camp. U of R product. Does Collaros go right over the middle if he's playing off because he's so young? Trying to get the call in there now. He's already lined up pretty deep around the 47-yard line.
Near impossible to hear with this crowd.
Looks like they got too deep. Play man underneath.
Winnipeg starts on their own 29. Collaros with time, heaves one down the field. Incomplete. Looking for Dembski in the triple coverage, and he couldn't get it.
And you know who makes the play? It's Jackson Ford coming from that deep outside half. He's the third receiver here, and he's going to layer across, all the way across the face of the deep defender. So it's 2-man underneath, meaning Derek Moncrief is in chase, but he's beat. And the safety, the deep man, Jackson Ford, comes across and disrupts the play. Knocks it down, gets in the way of Dembski. Incomplete.
20 seconds to work with. Collaros just 12 completions today. They'll hand it off. Brady Oliveira tripped up just outside the 30. And that will bring up third down.
Well, the reason for that play is in cover 2 man. Everybody is manned up, so you don't get much help in the tackling of a running back from your DBs and linebackers, really. They're all manned up with 2 guys over the top. So that's why you try and run the ball there. Didn't work because the D-line took care of it.
Overtime.
Yes, sir.
is on the way at Mosaic. Not sure you could script it any better. We are tied at 24. You'd be crazy to change the channel.
A maximum of 2 mini games. Each team scrimmages from the 35-yard line going in. Touchdown, you have to go for 2.
This is going to be fun, isn't it?
Okay, guys, this is a coin we're going to use. It's your choice. Saskatchewan logo is tails. League logo is heads.
Heads.
Heads is a call, Mike. Heads is a call. Heads is a call. It's a heads. You can choose.
You want to play defense.
You want to play defense first? Which side do you want? You want to go this way? Saskatchewan's going to go this way.
Of course, if you win the toss, you always want to play defense first so that you know exactly what you have to do to either match or win when it's your turn. Each team will get that shot. If they're tied after the first try, they switch ends, go back to the other end. It'll be Jake Dolegala first on offense. But I love that the coin toss, where Ben Major said the Rider logo is tails. There is no way Adam Bighill was taking tails with the Rider logo as tails.
Zip. Zero chance.
No shot he was taking tails.
Well, another early test in the career of Jake Dolegala. Mini game number 1. Here we go. Overtime. Labor Day weekend between the Bombers and Riders. Dolegala wants to throw, gets it away, far side, going up, trying to get it was Emelis. Batted away neatly by Winston Rose.
Good sound play by Winston Rose here. He's just playing off, not allowing the big play. The ball was a little late coming out. If it was a little earlier, Sam Emelis sits down there. He has a catch.
They'll do it again. 2nd and 10. Dolegala gets it away just in time. Complete far side. Emelis, this time he has it, hangs on. And will eventually be tied up just outside the 20, right back to 19 in green and white.
You know, defensively, you're trying to not give up the big play, and this time it's just a quick out rather than the hit screen from Emelis. Timing out right up to the marker, bang into the inside, and then straight out towards the sideline.
Fresh set of downs for the Riders offense from the Winnipeg 22. Over 300 passing yards for Jake Dolegala. Looks for more here. Gets it away again. Tucks it into the 10 towards the end zone. Stopped just short. Jamal Morrill was that close.
It's got to be a special overtime play from Kelly Jeffrey to get Morrow out of the backfield and then shoot him down the middle. He releases like he's going to run a swing pass and then cuts across the face of his linebacker.
First down, the 1-yard line.
Or the ruling on the 1. Let's take a look and see if the ball crossed the plane. And I think the knee's down. That's a good call by the official. Ball did not cross the plane of the white stripe.
Pipkin time. Pipkin to put the Riders on top, pushing ahead, and he's in. Touchdown, Saskatchewan. 2nd of the game for Antonio Pipkin, and they go on top by 6.
Just great composure from Jake Dolegala in this game on this stage. Sellout crowd. It's the Labor Day weekend against the 9-win Bombers. Top team in the division, and he's just standing in there running the offense. Now they got to go for 2. You don't get it. Kalaros is up next.
Dolegala back in here, looking to make it 8 here. Dolegala waits, gets it away quickly to Dallas. Guns it into their
phased. This reaction from Dolegala. Watch him. Gonna throw this dart to the out. Right on the outside hip. Tremendous accuracy there.
The perfect throw.
It absolutely was. And after going up by 8 in the first overtime mini game, Dolegala walked off like it was just started.
This is a guy who beat the Lions in his first start of the season. Now he's on top against the Bombers. Crowds at their feet. Polaris to the field. Empty backfield. Zach down the field. Far side. Look into the end zone. Got it. Are you kidding me? Kenny Lawler immediately strikes, and Winnipeg wastes no time at all.
Talk about accuracy in the throw. Come on. Get out of here. Lawler on the outside. Down the sideline on Nick Marshall. He gets an inside release. Or excuse me, Jeremy Clark. An inside release. And that allows him to block out Clark as he goes down the field. But the accuracy on the throw, as good as it gets.
Have to have two. 32-30, the Riders lead. Can their defense come up with a memorable stop here? Kolaris to keep this game alive. Looks to his left, throws to his right, deflected, and it's over! The Riders are going to win it! The defense gets the job done in overtime, and Saskatchewan wins the Labor Day battle with the Bombers!
Jackson Ford, the grandson of Al Ford, comes on the blitz. Al Ford, a former star Saskatchewan Roughrider and GM, comes on the blitz off the edge for the two-point convert. Safety blitz, and Jackson Ford, homegrown, makes the play.
Fairy tale finish for the local product. Fingertips got the job done. And I think this one can be chalked up as a classic, no doubt about it. Let's send it down to Britt Dort, who's got the winning quarterback.
Jake, well, I don't think you could have drawn it up any better for a win here, and the emotions you're probably feeling this moment, but describe what you are feeling after that one.
It's joy. Obviously, going into overtime on a Labor Day Classic, I mean, you can't dream it up any better. We played a hell of a team today. They fought us tough, but we came out on top.
In that fourth quarter there, when you guys went down and it felt like it might have been going in Winnipeg's favor, what did you guys have to do to come back here?
We just stayed grounded, knew we had it in us. We executed what we need to, and we got the job done.
Now you have 2 wins in a row. This is your second as a starter. You're going to play Winnipeg again next week in their house. Yep. What do you expect from that matchup?
I expect the same thing, just a battle for 60 minutes. But holy crap, I'm going to go celebrate this one.
Well, congratulations on the win. Go celebrate. Back up to Dustin and Suits.
Holy crap indeed. Yeah. One more look at the game clincher from that man.
Yeah, earlier in this second half, Jaden Dalkey went down to injury, and Jackson Ford came off the bench. And on the two-point convert attempt, which Zach Kolaris had to have, they run the safety blitz to Ford, and he makes the play off the edge. U of R product, making Granddad proud right now, I can guarantee you that.
Just a phenomenal football game that did start a little slow. Defenses making big plays early, and then both offenses got clicking. Big plays on both sides of the ball. And I don't think you can sleep on the Riders right now. Back-to-back wins over the Lions and Bombers.